I decided to do something that I'm kind of excited about, but that has the like demons just roiling inside of me right now. I decided to commit myself to 11 days of vlogging, just to like, yeah, just to like loosen up this muscle and like okay, let you know. So yeah, we're committing to 11 days. 11 days of vlogging. Okay, give me that.
The milk is sour. I've barely been to college and I've been doubtful of all that I've dreamed of. The brink of my existence essentially is a comedy. The gap in my teeth and all that I can cling to. The milk is sour. Shalala, shalala.
Just having one of those mornings where I can feel the self-doubt, like wanting to take over. I really do think that the things that we're most afraid of are the ones that are most essential to our soul's evolution, or you know, to our mental growth. And to get anything out of this life, we have to do the things that scare us the most. So even though this is scary and painful, I really want to do this 11 days of just vlogging. You know, it's like I keep having these thoughts in my mind that are like, but who's gonna care? Like, who's gonna watch this? This is gonna be so boring. My life is not that interesting. But there's so much more going on in our psyche than there is going on, you know, in our environments 90% of the time. So I know that the type of vlog I want to see more of is intimate conversations and people's day-to-day life. So, you know, they always say, like, if there's something you wish you saw more of, you know, if there's a podcast that you wish you could listen to, you need to be that podcast. And for me, that's filmmaking to some degree. Anyways, this is just my morning pep talk, because I know self-doubt is going to start creeping in soon. So I can feel how, as I talk about it right now, even though there's technically no one listening, I can feel how it's lessening its power in my mind, and that's a good feeling. I think I'm gonna go walk around the cemetery for a minute, just mentally, emotionally reset, and then I gotta pack orders. A big day. Let's go to the cemetery.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Salut, je suis un espadon. J'ai perdu mon téléphone par le champ de tournesol. Il devient un champignon. C'est que des champignons. C'est inutile, c'est pas bon si tu as envie d'appeler. Le mieux de tous espadons. Oh, oh, oh.
I'm having one of those time frames of life when, you know, when it's like, it feels like a roll credits moment. Like, you don't really know what it is that's ending, but you can just feel like an ending happening. It's like, specifically, I'm seeking out songs that feel like endings. The song that plays right before the credits roll, you know? I don't know. Okay. Oops. Just had a good cry, as one does. Feeling good, feeling It's like, does this ever happen to you? Does it ever happen to you where you're like, okay, this is the general direction I want to move in, right? And then you're like, okay, here's an inspired action, here's a really good idea. Like, just simply vlogging, because I love the feeling of having a camera in my hand. I love setting up shots. Why don't I just capture my own life, right? Logical. But then the spiral starts where you're like I swear this is my subconscious, this is the self-doubt finding a really clever loophole to get my attention through, where they're like, but what if this isn't actually what you're supposed to be doing? And I fall for it every goddamn time. I was raised Catholic, and there's a unique type of guilt that goes into being a good Catholic. The concept of guilt being so deeply ingrained in whether or not you deserve a good thing. Like the amount of times I've felt like who do I think I am talking about myself on the internet? I don't deserve that. It's like, no one does. Like, that's the whole point. There's literally no such thing as deserving anything at all. And now I'm here on the exact same thing where it's like, I want to vlog and I want to talk about my life on the internet because maybe me talking about my life could help someone else understand theirs, you know? And then it always comes back to it, but do I deserve that? Did I earn that? Have I been good enough for that? For me, whenever it finally boils down to like, oh, but I don't deserve that, it's worth mentioning that it never starts that way. You know, this is why like meditation I think is so important, is that it allows you to quiet your mind enough that you can hear those tiny little honest voices that break through, that say, I don't deserve that, you know? And it's funny too, because I feel like the concept of deserving something is just, it's so skewed in my mind. It's skewed and it's rigged against me in my mind. I feel like every time I finally reach a point of owning up to what it is that I want, at least to myself, one, the feeling of selfishness is so intense, and the guilt that comes along with feeling selfish and feeling like, oh, but if you want to help people, you have to martyr yourself. Like, you can't want to help people and want like quality of life. Like, no, that's too much to ask. It's a funny thing, the concept of feeling like you must deserve something, and it's a funny thing, the concept of asking for what you want. And how freaking hard that is. How hard it is to admit to ourselves what we want, first and foremost, because of the guilt, the selfishness. But it's like, we're all selfish. Sorry. You know, every human on this planet is selfish on some level, is self-interested on some level. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, I think self-interest could benefit people a lot more. Because by default, by deciding that the most important thing to you is your own interests, you're putting yourself in the way of everything that's right for you. Simple as that. There's like no thought, no difficult dissection that has to go into that. It's just, hey, I like these things, so I'm going to pursue these things. Odds are I'm going to meet people along the way that are into the same stuff and can help me and I can help them, and we all in our self-interest are collaborating together and helping each other and benefiting from it. So, but there's just so much that goes into deciding to be self-interested. There's so much undoing. But I'm getting there, I think. I feel way better. I'm glad I cried. Anyways, I'm gonna have lunch. We're having Venezuelan arepas, my favorite. And I made these amazing chickpea patties recently. That one doesn't look that good, but I swear they're so good. They're like super easy and delicious to make. I'll put the recipe, I'll put the link in the description. Hey, is she a YouTuber or what? I've decided to go to the gym. That's all. Gym. Gonna go to the gym, then finish packing orders. For real this time, because I need to be done. And that's all I got. So away I go. Just packed my ass off. I didn't make it to the gym because I was on my way, but then the little voice in my head was like, I need this burden off of me, please finish packing the orders. So I obliged. And I am now surrounded by a mess. And it's really late, but I did it. There's a bunch over there too. I realized energetically I'm kind of in this like no man's land of both knowing that I need to like wrap up the business because I can energetically feel that it's kind of a burden in the way of me progressing. But it's also kind of really heartbreaking. I don't know, I guess it's just growing pains again, you know, I guess it's just the feeling of like knowing I'm outgrowing something that I worked really hard on at one point it's not easy to like reckon with, you know? But it's just not, it's not right for me. It still doesn't make it any easier, you know? It's funny how hard it can be to walk away from things that aren't right for us. Endings have always really been hard for me because I used to not know how to show emotions and like not be comfortable showing emotions, and so I always hated endings because they require a level of sentimentality that I was never comfortable showing, even though I'm obviously, being the vintage enthusiast that I am and like the photographer that I am and the writer that I am, I'm obviously super sentimental. So I'm being given the opportunity to energetically show myself that I can be this person who's comfortable being vulnerable publicly, and I can be this person who's willing to embody and feel and not run away from all of her emotions anymore. So I just need to remember, you know, as I'm like in the ending process. We'll see what the future holds. I don't expect I'm done completely with the entrepreneurial world. But I do feel like I'm done with the vintage selling world, and that's kind of sad because it just changed me so much. Anyways, this has been fun. When I relax and let myself not stop and think about it, but just stop and feel about it, I'm actually really excited to be doing this. And I'm excited to see what comes up, you know. But we'll see what the world holds. Thanks for watching.
I was the fox and you were my rose. You showed me how a boy